Good evening to, this is the November 14th, 2016 Goffstown Board of Selectmen meeting. First on business would be the Pledge of Allegiance. Please all join me. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have minutes from 10/24/16 public and non-public minutes, and 10/31/16 public minutes.
Make a motion to accept the 10:24 public and non-public minutes, as well as the 10:31/16 public minutes, if corrections are needed as well.
Is there a second?
I'll second it. I was not here, but I'll second it.
Well,
I was here for the
You can't-
10:31.
okay.
How's
I'll
that?
second if you want to make
Okay.
it clean.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let's make it clean, and
Yeah,
then
that's
Alan
fine.
can second the 10:31 if you want. Doesn't make a difference.
Yeah, that's fine.
Any discussion? Any issues? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstention
Abstaining, one?
for the 10:24.
And 10:31, Alan, you want to,
10:31 public minutes. Yes, make a motion to accept those.
okay.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Seeing none? I don't have any announcements scheduled, but I would like to take this opportunity to thank all of our departments and our administrators for a great job on Tuesday. Nothing but kudos from everybody in the public on how well everything was run. So thanks to Kathy Ball, her staff, administration, police department, fire department, public works. CERT was instrumental in helping out, so.
Also, all of the people that just volunteered
Volunteers
their
that
time.
volunteered
A lot of
to
people.
count at night, so we thank you all. Sue, you want to start?
Sure. Your meeting schedule is in your packets. The first one that's listed there, November 15th, Sewer Commission meeting, that has been canceled, so you can scratch that. On the 15th, at Tuesday, 7 o'clock, is the Budget Committee.
I'm good.
The 16th, Wednesday, at 6:30, Library Trustees. I don't think we usually go to that
No, we
one,
don't.
right?
We haven't been going to that.
16th, Wednesday at 7, Parks and Rec, at the Parks and Rec Center.
I got that, Collis.
Okay, and then the 16th, again, Wednesday, 7 PM, Conservation Commission.
Got it?
The 17th, Thursday, 7 PM, Planning Board.
David?
Yes.
And then 11/17 is, at 7 PM, is also the Budget Committee.
Yep.
All right. I don't believe there's any, the following week is
Thanksgiving week.
Thanksgiving week, and I
right.
don't think there's any planned meetings that week.
We don't plan it. We're not meeting Monday either.
No,
So,
no, we're back on the second and fourth
Yeah.
Mondays. Consensus folder tonight includes event permits. Goffstown Main Street Friday Night Under the Lights is December 2nd from 5 to 8. The tree lighting in the Common is scheduled at 6:30. Also, Doug Roulard, feature film, a month of December throughout town at various sites. He'll be filming a production. Also, right to inter, corrective right to inter with the correct spelling of Raquel Slack. The C was missing, I guess, in the original one. Proclamations, we have 2 Eagle Scout candidates whose ceremony is on November 20th, and Selectman Pierce is available to attend the ceremony.
motion?
Oh, also, I placed in there today in your signature folder whereas the insurance rates for next year, you know, the employer and employee share. So that just went in at noon today.
Motion to accept the consensus folder.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Motion passes.
The assessor recommends supplemental intent of timber cut for map 5, lots 13, 13-2, 13-4, 33, and map 8, lot 1.
Motion, accept the assessor's recommendations.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Opposed? Unanimous?
And at 5D, you have the Public Works Department's holiday schedule.
That would be New Year's on Sunday. Transfer station will be closed Tuesday, January 3rd. Trash and recycling will be on schedule. That seems to be a big thing.
Yep.
We have President's Day, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving Day. This is 2017 scheduled for Thanksgiving, and then, of course, Christmas is on a Monday, so.
Okay. Do
Any
you want to
discussion on that?
approve that?
We need a motion on that
Sure.
Motion to approve the DPW holiday schedule.
for 2017.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained? Unanimous.
Thank you. At tab 5D in your packet, you have amendments for the 2017 Personnel Plan. They include changes to Article 6, Section 6, longevity. So it will match the language we have in the union contracts now. Article 9, Section 5, sick bank. This was due to the fact that the sick bank is a predecessor to FMLA. So when FMLA was added to the personnel plan, there seemed to be a conflict on the timing of everything. So we made it clear in the article regarding the sick bank that it's only while employed by the town. And then the last change is, in Section 12, insurance and benefit plans, the contribution increases 3.5% next year. Also, change the section that if any family member, so if more than one family member is working for the town, we provide one policy to cover everyone. We don't allow each one to get an individual policy. So those are the changes.
Any motion on that?
Motion to accept the amendment changes to the 2017 Personnel Plan effective 1/1/2017. You want the article dealing with, or?
That's fine.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstained?
Thank you. You also have a safety policy and slips, trips, and falls prevention policy. Staff and the Joint Law Safety Committee recommend the adoption of the revised Town of Goffstown Safety Policy, which is in a 3-ring binder in your other room, and also the slips, trips, and falls prevention policy, which is included at tab 5F in your packets. This is another step we're taking to get that Prime membership at Primex to bring down our insurance next year.
Any discussion on that? Mark?
Sue, a town that borders us just went to the same program here. I know for that town, the employees had to take like a 30-minute video. Was that mentioned at all in the program?
No.
Okay. It's a video, it's a slips, trips, and fall. It's on their website. It's like a 30-minute video. If you watch it, take a,
On the Primex website?
yeah.
Oh,
you-
okay.
You take there's a couple question test, and then you get a certificate, and,
No, they told us just to
Oh, okay.
develop a policy, but that's good to know. I can
yeah.
look at that and,
In Litchfield's the town, we had all the members of the fire department had to take the slips, trips, and fall as a video about workplace things, cords, rugs, and things like that.
Do we have like a monthly safety meetings for?
quarterly.
No, I'm talking about in the departments itself.
The departments themselves, DPW, police, and fire probably have them more frequently.
Fire does? Has a safety meeting like once a month or something?
Yeah, well, it's typically quarterly with an officers meeting to discuss any issues. We haven't had any claims recently to discuss or any near misses. Big thing is near miss reporting. That's a big thing for us. So if there's we didn't have an incident, but there was a possibility there could have been an incident, we do a near miss report. We discuss it.
And I think DPW has safety tips, so, before, it's kind of like seasonal.
Need a motion to accept.
Recommend approval of the revision to the town's policy on slips, trips, and falls prevention.
And the safety policy also?
Safety
Here,
and
610.
safety policy.
Yeah, well, when we get done, we're in the middle of a
Yeah.
motion. We need a second on the motion.
Yep.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Seeing none. Public comment, it is 6:10. Anybody here from the public would like to comment? Seeing none. Go ahead, Sue.
Okay, credit card processing recommendation. Finance Director John Boris has been studying this for a while, and he is recommending that the town use Interware and Heartland for credit card processing. This is in relation to we're going to start with just Parks and Rec. This requires entering into an IDC Web Services Agreement, which is enclosed in your signature folder. We have selected option 1, which has no financial impact on the town.
Need a
We
motion?
have some history with Interware. They provide us the Clerk Works program in the town clerk's office, and they do the electronic check processing for that office.
So I'll make a motion to authorize the credit card processing, as this is limited now just to the Parks and Rec desk,
Yes.
as I understand it. So I can make a motion to approve that agreement with the IDC Web
So we're
Services.
authorizing the chairman to
Yep.
sign that agreement.
With IDC Web Services.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And I would just like,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, go finish the vote. Just going to comment.
Opposed, abstained, seeing none? Go ahead,
I
Carl.
hope the town would move expeditiously towards doing this for all of the programs within towns, all the town clerk processing and stuff, to the greatest extent possible.
The town clerk processing has a little, a different issue, because you'd have to go to single payer. Right now, when you register, you make a check out to the state and a check out to the town. And it's deposited that day, the state requires it to be deposited that day into their account. If you go to single payer, which you can, but it's going to, the reconciliation is going to create, it's going to create a lot more difficulty in the reconciliation.
Well, I understand.
And
Who pays
then-
the percentage?
And then we're responsible for any bad debts to the state.
So,
Yeah, I understand it's a little more complicated. I would just encourage us to move quickly in that direction.
I
mean,
think the next one I would like to test out, if this goes smoothly with RecDes, is I'd like the tax collector's office to use it next, because that one would be simpler, and then
There's a
work
transfer
through.
station.
Yeah, the transfer station.
Yeah.
They could use it
I
there.
mean, that's a great service to the public.
and
Go ahead, David.
building permits, filing fees, sewer bills.
Planning
You
board.
usually need, in order to use this, you need a program, and we don't have a program in planning or building permits. There's no land use software that could address it. Because it has to tie to a software, so RecDes, it ties from RecDes into the Munis software, but we have no software for land use.
So some programs have the ability to do that, others don't. Still, would hope we can move quickly to bring it to those programs if we can.
And we have been researching software programs for land use, for building permits and plan applications.
Okay, next up is the authorization for HDC.
Yes, Historic District Commission requests authorization to apply for a 2017 Certified Local Government Priority 1 grant to hire a preservation consultant to assist HDC in the development of design guidelines. The grant is 60% of the estimated $10,000 cost, and the 40% match would be in kind.
Guidelines for, just for the complete,
Just for the historic districts.
what are we using now?
Old ones. They would like to update them.
Motion to accept.
It's very generic, what we have in our zoning ordinance regarding the historic district. This would give them more specific guidelines.
Okay, somebody want to second that? Mark made a motion, I was second for discussion.
Who is the contributor of the in-kind work?
Staff and volunteer members of the
Yeah, it's
HDC.
it's detailed in the back, under the tab.
Yes, at 5H.
So Mark made a motion, you don't have a second on it yet.
Second that.
Yeah, I'll second the discussion. yeah.
Okay, any more discussion on it? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, unanimous.
Authorization to use CIP appropriation for the sewer service line repair. During the investigation of the sinking issue at Town Hall, it was discovered that the sewer service line at Town Hall is in need of repair. Since this is a more urgent need than the flooring, I request the Selectmen's authorization to use the appropriation in account line 90301300-53475 for this repair and to return the flooring request to a future CIP year. If this is approved, then we will have bid specifications for you to approve at your next meeting on 11/28.
And what's the detail as far as what's the repair?
The sewer line has breaks in it, plus the joints are offset, so
We talked
they have
about
to.
here in the building.
In the building,
In
yes.
the building down here, next to the
We're gonna
cellar
have to
down
tear up right down the hallway and put in a new service line and the
Okay,
new connections.
what's the ramifications for the Operation Town Hall during that period?
To be determined. We might encumber it until the fire station is done. We'll see. Lawson Group has not come in yet. We're contracting with them to do the asbestos testing in the floor. That's what would,
I would think, Peter, they shouldn't have any real issue. They should be able to replace them, not replace the line, replace the new line. Leave the old one right in the ground using it, and then replace the new line, and just connect the dots. Shouldn't affect them that bad here, if they do it
it's the
right.
asbestos I was worried about.
Yep. Then we could have, if you start tearing up asbestos, you're going to have to clear the building.
We'll put in some huge air
You can
handlers.
pull those up first, and you have to, it'll be just
Seal it,
dots.
make a tunnel, seal it up, and
And put some air handlers in, yeah.
So we're gonna put off the flooring repairs in Town Hall.
Yep.
Weren't some of those a slip, trip, and fall concern?
Yep, we've,
So how are we gonna
we've
address
removed
that?
some of the rugs. I mean, the floor doesn't look great, but at least the rug is pulled out and it's not a tripping hazard. But we can't do that in the town clerk's office, so they put mats down to avoid the tripping right now.
So we can't find funds anyplace else to address that issue?
Not at that cost. That's a CIP cost.
What kind of money are we talking about? Have any idea? Do we have any clue?
Ballpark, about 30.
About 30.
For the floors or for the?
No, here.
Oh, yeah. What about for the flooring, though?
Well, that's what, we had 35 in the flooring. And that was just for upstairs.
Any way we can charge the fire department for this rental? or-
What the hell, rent it, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. I'm just concerned that, we've still got the potential for additional slip, trip, and fall issues.
Well,
And
we'll have-
it's the face of the town. It's what
Yep.
people see when they walk into town hall.
We'll have more of an issue though if this
Bare floors
line completely
torn up.
breaks on us during the
I
during the season.
understand that, but
If it breaks off down in, when we're in full throat here, going down the road here, the whole office run here, and it breaks down, then what do we do?
I
No, I
understand
mean,
that.
I think that's probably more important to get that repaired.
Well, I thought that was more urgent.
I'm not trying to
No,
prioritize
no,
one over the other. I'm trying to
But there are other
prioritize
things we need,
both.
yeah.
Do
No,
both, yeah.
yeah.
Well, I can add up,
All for that.
we just got the October reports out today, so I can see if there's any other lines. I don't have it in town hall that could absorb that.
At least if we could look at maybe repairing the public flooring spaces, like the hallways and the place where the public is accessing.
That's not the, well, we
I
put
think
new
we
rugs
did that.
down
We
there.
did that
Did we
already.
do?
We did new rugs upstairs. The center rug and then the end, at each end, those are new rugs. That part isn't bad. It's the
Yeah.
there's really no, the danger for slips and falls was really for employees, because it's behind the counters that the rugs were like, because it's tile floors with runners upstairs in the hallway and the public areas.
But they put mats up there in the town clerk's office so
Yep.
they wouldn't trip over the carpet.
And that one's going to be tricky in that room, because that one may has asbestos in the sealant on the tiles.
Go right over it and leave it.
Right. And that's probably what they'll recommend.
Most everything
So
else,
what you want to do is encumber the $35,000 at this time that you had.
Well, I
budgeted.
can't encumber because I don't have a contract. What I wanted to use is the money in that line to go out and get a contract or get a bid,
Let me see what you can
and
do.
then encumber.
Okay. I don't have a problem.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, seeing none? 20 passed, it's time for the fire department.
One quick one
Oh,
on
please.
the sharing of the survey of Town Hall with Bob Todd.
Motion.
We had a Town Hall survey a while ago, and now he's surveying an abutting property and has requested a copy of ours.
Versus them doing it themselves?
Well, I think they use
It's
it.
their
and-
field notes.
Yeah, I think it's a professional courtesy that surveyors share information like this.
Yeah,
but
I'll
he wanted to make sure.
make a motion that the recent survey of the town hall property be shared with Bob Todd Surveying.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, seeing none. Chief,
Good evening.
you are here on proposal to adjust EMS budget and ambulance rates.
Right, as you recall, this is a ongoing Board of Selectmen item, discussion with the augmenting our fire and EMS part-time staffing to help with our handling our calls in a timely manner. The will of the board points in a direction where the funding for the part-time staffing would be mostly, obviously, from the EMS budget, because 60 to 70% of our call volume is EMS related. So in a memo to you, there was a number of lines that would need to be changed or added to.
And those are the, I'm sorry, Chief,
Right.
the order is kind of messed up here. So it's the last two pages under tab 4 is the memo I think the chief is referring to, dated November 10th, Chief?
Correct. In the memo, there's a number of fire EMS budget lines, and it shows the proposed selectmen's amount that's moving forward to the budget committee for 2017. And then in the middle column, it shows the amount that we'll need to add to that budget line. And then the far right column would be the total amount for that budget line for next year, if approved. So you would have a total EMS budget that would be at $450,408 up to, or increased to, $539,480. Again, this would fund the necessary elements to 6 months of part-time staffing, commencing next July or close to that.
And that total amount is going to, of $539,480 comes out of EMS funds.
Correct.
Are we reimbursing the town, the fire department for covering EMS during the day when you don't have, when it's covered with firefighters?
We're not doing that at this time. This is just funding.
Well, it's still at 9,800, right, in the budget?
Yeah, $9,800 right now
Per
goes to
year,
general
yeah.
fund. It also pays for the training for the full-time staff and any equipment that they would need to do EMS-related functions.
And you'll still be able to accumulate enough money to buy ambulances out of that fund in the future?
And that goes into the next item, goes into the ambulance billing policy and the rate change. And that's the other memo that's dated November 7th. In working with Comstar, which is our third-party billing company, they've established what our rates would be at that. If you recall, after our last meeting, we said, okay, we're going to look at current Medicare rate plus 75%. And so you have a breakdown of our current rates, and then what our proposed rates would be under, it would look like knowing that rate, that Medicare plus 75. So looking at the new rates, or the proposed rates, compared to what we actually received in revenues in 2015, and what we estimate for 2017, if we commence our new rates in January 1st of 2017, we estimate that our revenues for EMS transports would be the ballpark of $540,000, which covers what we need to fund the staffing. So what that means is we're cutting it thin, we're cutting it close, but reality is this is all based on 1,000 transports, and just this year alone we've done at least 1,100. So that number is actually going to be greater, which helps fund the ambulance replacement and so on. Right now in the EMS Special Revenue Fund, we have over $500,000 in the account right now. $230,000 of it's going to go towards paying for the new ambulance when it arrives in December. And then we will have approximately $275,000 left over in that fund, again, to look to remount that ambulance coming up in 2018. So I think right now the fund is in good shape. We'll just have to keep an eye on it to make sure that we have enough to maintain our services.
What's your fallback plan if you don't?
fallback plan would be obviously to talk to the board and budget committee to see what the direction would be at that point, whether to help fund it with the fire department budget or increase rates again. Again, this was a phased approach for phasing in our rates. And we don't know what the Medicare rates are going to be like in January. Medicare always adjusts their rates somewhere in the second or third week in January. This past year, the Medicare allowable rates actually went down like 1%. They typically go up to 2 to 3%, but we'll see what happens this year.
If it continues to go down, it puts a hole in your plan?
It puts a hole in everybody's plan. It really does. That was a discussion at the national forum I attended, is that with the decrease of reimbursements, it's put the burden on communities to provide email services and EMS versus getting full reimbursement for what they're actually providing. So it's a big discussion down the road.
And my next question is just be implemented July 1st?
We're looking at July 1st with the holidays, and we'll look at the holiday schedule, but either July 1st or the week after the July 4th holiday.
But
After
the
the
rates would go into effect January 1st.
The rates would have to go in effect beforehand, so January 1st. To get that process going, usually takes up to 6 months to see the effect of a new rate for revenue.
So what would happen if you had a default budget?
You wouldn't be able to implement this program.
Essentially, isn't the taxpayer paying for this? I mean, for the most part, we're paying for it now. And if we have a default budget, then what? You're right.
We continue to provide the same response time we've been providing.
Yeah, but we raised the rates, it's effective January 1st. Saying the reason why we're raising the rates is to help offset the cost of adding 2 people on.
Well, you can always reconsider and bring them back down in April. Go through the public hearing process again. Would you prefer waiting until town meeting to go forward with the rate increase and then delay the implementation of staffing?
I'm throwing everything
for
out
6
there.
months?
I want to make sure all the bases are covered before we get ourselves in a situation.
Yeah, there's a possibility you raise your rates and don't implement the staffing if you're in default budget.
Just if I could comment, just, the rates that we're going to, again, are in that average range we saw last time we met. So to say that we're raising our rates, it's nothing beyond, that's beyond the average for southern New Hampshire. So I don't think it's something that's totally unbearable. You gotta figure, we figured 30% of our clients that we transport are gonna be paying this rate. If you've got Medicare or Medicaid, it doesn't affect those patients.
I'd like to go back and look at what this originally was set up for, was just to fund an ambulance service. And, that's what bothers me. I don't want it to become a cash cow where we start buying equipment and other stuff out of it because we have a lot of money. Fire equipment.
Oh, no, it's only for ambulance equipment. That's how the article was written, for
Exactly.
the special revenue fund. It's for ambulance equipment, ambulances, and staff to move those
Related costs
ambulances.
surrounding EMS. It was back in 2000, I believe.
Yeah. So, no, it can't be used for a fire engine.
Right. There's other communities like Ware and others that use it for that purpose, and I'm glad it
Exactly.
doesn't. Because it focuses on, because of that, I think we have some of the best equipment in the state, and we can be proud of it.
Calls?
I mean, we can't predict what's going to happen at town meeting. We can't predict what's going to happen with the usage rates or number of
Medicare.
calls.
Yep.
So I mean, I think we just have to go forward with it, and, if something occurs, then we'll have to, double back and revisit it.
So the rates require a public hearing, and then you can't vote on the rate increase for a week after that public hearing, I believe.
The 2 public hearings?
I don't think so. In rates, I think it's 1. Ordinances are 2. But I think I'll look it up. but-
Hey, we want to bring that back. Go ahead.
One.
Yeah, I'm satisfied with the numbers and the way it's been presented to us, so I'm willing to make a motion to go forward the public hearing process and get that started.
Whatever that may be.
Yeah.
I second it, because I'm comfortable as well.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, seeing none? Okey-dokey.
Okay, so that handles the rates. Now, so that's 500. Now we need a motion on amending the budget that we put forward to the Budget Committee to increase the bottom line from 450. This is what, 450, 408 is what currently the Budget Committee has for the EMS fund?
Correct.
To increase that to 539, 480 in the lines as presented by
As
the
Carlos
chief.
made that motion.
Yeah, that's the second part of it, so
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to
Okay.
move forward with that as well.
We need to second. If
They-
you
they go hand in
agree to
hand.
that, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Can't have one without the other.
That's true.
Any more further discussion on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining, seeing none?
Thank you very much.
Chief, have you been to the Budget Committee yet?
No.
Go Thursday.
Thursday, okay.
You'll have an updated proposal for that, right?
I'll present this.
And that's gonna be at the step up in the fire department, up in high school.
I'll step up.
Do you want Finance to print you out new budget pages for the EMS Special Revenue Fund?
If you could, also with the, I believe Emergency Management also has a new bottom line, but they may already have
I
that.
think that already went in.
Okay. I'll present that.
Committee meeting reports, sewer commission?
Circle back on me on that one. I don't
Okay.
There's nothing in the packet.
Conservation commission?
What, there was a, which one was it? I'm sorry.
Sewer commission?
Oh, no, she didn't give me one.
Conservation Commission met on the 26th of October. There was the commission examined desire of owner of 93 Mountain Road to remove a trailer-type home and build a single-family home on that lot, 93 Mountain Road. And the Conservation Commission chose to do a site walk. Second item that evening,
When was the site walk scheduled, do you know?
it has occurred.
It has, okay.
Second item was a courtesy presentation by Eversource Energy concerning the replacement of almost 2 miles of electric lines that come into Goffstown near the northeast corner of our town and continuing for almost 2 miles. Remove 68 old poles, replacing them with 42 new poles, which are about 10 feet higher. And there was no action required, other than it was a courtesy presentation. That's it on conservation.
Okay. Planning board? 10:27 and 11:10.
Yes, sir.
You want to look it up and go?
The 11:10 one was a loose, yeah, oh, you got it, okay.
You got that one right.
I do. I was getting both of them ready. Well, Planning Board had a meeting on the 27th of October. A completeness review of the self-storage facilities at the Manchester boundary line, Tower Lane. That development of the storage facilities was divided into Phase 1, which is abutting Goffstown Beck Road. And that phase was approved to be, to commence work. The second phase is a set of buildings further back in the lot, and that will be continued to the 17th of November. Second item that evening was a conceptual review of a 4-lot subdivision, Lesnick Road area. And it was That was, it was discussed and comments were provided to the applicant. It was just a conceptual review. And that was it on that meeting.
Can I ask you one question? You were talking about the piece of property, the back road. Wasn't there one time we talked about a service station and the Dunkin' Donuts? and-
That is
That's
It's
still,
still on.
yeah, it's still going on, okay.
Actually, they came to one of the
That's
meetings, I
Jack
remember
Nasser.
that. They came to a meeting, got a,
That's Jack Nasser.
Okay.
they came to a meeting and had a, I think they came, got an extension, didn't they? I recall.
Yes, a
I
long
was one of
time
the-
ago,
I was one of the
yeah.
meetings, they had an extension going on.
Yeah.
So it-
I see it says request for approval of the project, but it doesn't say whether they approved it or not. That's, okay.
Planning-
It's all good.
Planning Board met again 10 November, and it was, the first item concerned time extension request on a previously approved site plan, Woodland Trust, 76 townhouse-style condominium units, and it will be continued to 8 December. That was continuous requested by the applicant. Second item that evening was a completeness review of a subdivision of one lot into two lots. The primary lot was 520 Master Road, and essentially the backyard of that property is being subdivided off to be potentially a duplex home. And that review was continued the 8th December.
I got confused. Maybe I'm not understanding this. It says complete review, final subdivision review hearing for a proposed two-lot subdivision creating one new lot. Is that a typo or?
No.
No?
Takes-
No.
Takes two, the one lot creates two, so it's only one new lot's being created.
It's
I understand now. Okay.
essentially, like I said, the
Yep, yep, yep.
backyard of an existing lot is being subdivided off.
There's a couple of those down there. like that.
Thank you. That's it.
Carlos, you ready? or-
Unless you can find something soon, because I don't have this.
No, I don't have anything from sewer.
Okay, don't worry about it. We'll
Bring it up next time.
I went to two budget committee meetings, one on 11/3 and one on 11/10. Right now, we're just doing presentations. So far, from what I see, it's been well-received. A few good questions, but other than that, we've had administration's been in, DPW's been in, sewer's been in, Parks and Rec's been in, DPW's been in. But everything has been well-received so far, and we won't, all I'm doing right now is just getting the input and presentations together, and then we'll start going to work on them in probably 3 weeks. Chief's coming in on Friday. We're starting the school this week. We haven't had budgets just the other day, so. That's that.
What I didn't list was HDC. They did meet, and there's a summary in the
Yeah.
packet.
Mark, I'm sorry, did you go?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we had our meeting. Meeting was held at the Grassmere Town Hall. Because of the historic district that it's in, the Hillside United Methodist Church across the street is going to do some renovations. They came in with all the plans, site work, and all that stuff. After discussion and after looking at the plans, it was a unanimous vote by the board that they do not need to go for any special permits or any special approvals to put the addition on. So basically, under section 13.4.5 of the Goffstown zoning ordinance. That was approved, so they're going to start moving on there. You'll see some construction starting there. We had a visit from the New Hampshire Division of Historical Resources. We had two young ladies come in and spend some time with us, talking about local grants, the certified local government programs for the 2017 grant programs, what's available, what we can try to do with it, develop and design guidelines for the town historic regulations, what we talked about a little bit before. Grassmere Town Hall renovations, the lights upstairs have been put on. Roger Filto's been working on the newel post and some of the stuff upstairs on the third floor. Phil Devanza, we gave Phil permission to spend $1,000 to buy the last remaining items to finish the stage area upstairs. And that's pretty much it. The next meeting for us will be November 30th at, it's on a Wednesday. Due to Thanksgiving, we moved it a little bit. That's pretty much it.
Any update on the septic?
They've been working on it. There are a few things that had to be done prior to them starting the septic installation, the plumbing, and the outdoor electrical. So that, I read a memo before I
We need to get
came
some
in.
electrical over there.
Gas had to be moved.
Mm,
Gas is
Yes.
gonna be moved around back.
Yep.
How are they getting under Center Street? Are they direction board?
Horizontal
board?
board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
EDC?
Economic Development Committee, yes, we had that meeting. That meeting was held here at Town Hall. We had a program that we discussed, the 6 biggest mistakes in the Economic Development Committee. They deal with swimming in a sea of sameness, shouting rather than engaging. There's 6 items and issues here that we discussed and we talked about over our meeting. And some of the things that came out of this meeting is we're going to look at our website. We're going to try to update the website, Peter, get the website user-friendly and bring it up to date so that there'll be more pertinent information on there for it. And we all said, looking down the line, we talk about expanding and making things bigger in this town. We have to look further down the line to Manchester to see what our sewer capacity is. I believe Derek's working on that to see just how much we are going to be allowed to push down the pipe before we meet our capacities. There's a number of it, a number that we need to meet for gallons going through the discharge system, and I don't know what it is, and Derek wasn't quite sure what it is. He was supposed to check with somebody to follow up to provide the information at the next meeting so that, we have an idea what we're gonna do.
Speak of the devil.
Speaking of the devil, there he is. Did we get a sewer capacity number yet, Derek?
Not yet,
Not
no.
yet, okay.
I will talk with Ellen at the end of the week when she gets
Okay,
back to
all
see
right,
what
so-
those figures are. 'Cause I know the EDC was looking for.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
So that's a work in progress. Available sites on the existing website. The EDC wants to test the available sites on current websites to determine whether or not the effort's going to be worth it to put it out. I don't know if you heard, but I'll tell everybody now. Hubert's is going out of business. There's issues there as well, so the mall of death continues to plague us as far as I'm concerned, but other than that, that's about it. Next meeting is scheduled for December 7th.
Any questions? Okay, action matrix, nothing, any new business for the action matrix? No,
I think so.
old business? Okay, we can,
Peter? I would just like at this time to send kudos out to the Goffstown Fire Department. Over the weekend, we attended 4 major structural fires in and around the community. Our tasks were put to test, and every time mutual aid call was called for, we did fulfill the requirements. New Boston, Ware, Dunbarton all had major fires over the weekend, and I just like to say kudos to the department for, job well done over the weekend for the fires.
did we have any in our town?
None in our town.
Okay. Chimney fires? Chimney fires this time of year?
Chimney fires this time of year, yes. When we had that chimney fire, Chief, a couple weeks ago, right? We had one chimney fire. A reminder, a good thing, if you haven't fired up your chimney yet, it's best that you get it clean before you fire it up or have it inspected so that we will not have any chimney fires.
Public service announcement?
Yep.
The Goffstown Board of Selectmen. Anything else? We talked about developing a policy regarding building permits on a Class 6 road. Where are we at on that? Have we even talked about it?
I'm working with the planner on that.
Okay.
Should have something for you soon.
Okay.
The other one we wanted to add here, and I think it just just didn't print out, last meeting, you wanted to add the sewer service line as an action item.
Oh, we're working on it.
Yep.
Anything else? No motion?
Non-public?
All right. Motion to go into non-public under RSA 91-A:3, Roman 2, B for hiring, and L for meeting with the town attorney.
Second.
Alan?
Oh, yes.
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 And yes.
Yes.
That'll conclude our public portion of the November 14th, 2016 Goffstown Board of Selectmen meeting. Thank you for watching. You going next door?
Yeah.